Let me say that I thank Allah so much for the man that came to try to put us on the road to Islam. The starting point is not the finishing point. The starting point is letting us know that we have a journey. Master Farad Muhammad told us to accept our own and to be ourselves. We know that he, a human being born February 26, 1877, is not the originator of the heavens and the earth, but the good that we gained from his 3 years and 4 months among us was that he raised from among us a man that would get us started in a process that, even though the Islamic world would have liked to have helped us, and many Muslims came to try to help us, they didn't have the right methodology and approach for the condition that we were in. Farad Muhammad developed a methodology, strange as it seems, unorthodox as it seems, even poisonous as it may seem, yet it was a prescription that started bringing balance to the system, and that we would evolve from a nationalistic, black thinking people into the universal message of Islam.
But just to dwell on Farad Muhammad, the idea that he was the incarnation of, he was God on earth, you know.
I differed with my father.
Yes.
And I didn't want to differ with him.
Yes.
In fact, I never differed with him directly. I was told, he was told that someone heard me saying something different. So he called me to question me about it. And I told him that I could more readily believe that he was God than I could believe that his teacher was God, because his teacher was a white man, and he said white people were devils. And also I told him that I understand something from your teacher that makes me believe that he said those things, but he also left enough evidence of his real intent, and that was to bring us to the correct idea of God in Islam. For example, my mother, when I was leaving the home one day, after my father had insisted that I accept God the way he presented God, or I was going to be cut off from all communication. He told me he knew it would hurt me to know that I wouldn't be able to see my mother. He said, "You won't be able to talk to your mother, I'll see her." So I didn't change. And as I was leaving, my mother was hurt, and it hurt me to see her hurting like that. She said, she walked me to the door, which she didn't do. That was normal for her when my father excused you. And she stood on the porch at the door, and she said, "Wallace, why don't you go back there and accept this? Just say you believe." I said, "Mama, tell me what Mr. Farad told you all." I said, "Did he tell you he was God?" And she looked like her face went blank, and looked like she didn't know what to say. And a few seconds she said, "No, he did not." So in fact, he told us to not even call him prophet. Said that was too big a title for him. Then I said to my mother, "How can you ask your son now to accept a man as God who told you prophet was too big a title for him?"
I see. So I think that is the consistent view that if Master Farad's contribution has been to
Farad was sincere. That's my point.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
He was very sincere.
Any Orthodox Muslim out of the 1.2 billion will readily accept that. But when there is any suggestion of something related to being God on earth, then there is difficulty. You would agree with me?
Well, let me put it to you another way. That man, Adam, was to be Allah's vicegerent
Khalifa, yes.
on earth, Khalifa. What does that mean? That means that Adam was to act on the will of God, in the place of God, by God's command, but not to be worshipped as a God, but to show the human being what the human being could become
Correct.
if the human being submitted to God. He ordered the angels to bow down to this man that he made and fashioned from, in one part of the Quran, black mud into shape, and from another part, from dust. And he ordered the angels to bow down to Adam. All of this is subject to interpretation. And it is interpretation that gives Muslims these points that create division. And I think now that we in the Nation of Islam have accepted Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and we recognize when we were taught to pray, every morning our prayer was, surely I have turned myself to thee, O Allah, to him who originated the heavens and the earth. And I am not of the polytheists. That was our prayer.
Yes.
So our prayer
At some point, we would come into a greater understanding of that. And I would say that we are like children who don't really know God, but know him through a mom and a dad. But as we mature, we see our mother and our father in perspective. And as we mature, we see Master Farad Muhammad and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Prophet Muhammad and all the prophets in perspective.